everybody. It is Wednesday. How are you this Wednesday evening? I am more ish than 8. It is more ish than 8. Welcome to Wednesday, people. Welcome to Wednesday. Hello, Sylvia and Virginia. How are you? How are you today? Great to have you with us live on this Wednesday night. Kitty, how are you? Great Wednesday. I like that start. It has been a hump day for me. I gotta say, it's been a long day. It has been a long day. It is, ultimately a good sales day, but and that's ultimately, one of the measures of a great day. But, it has, I have been climbing that hump. I have been climbing that hump since I rolled out of bed this morning to get to the other side, to get to you guys here tonight, to be with you in our community here live tonight. Hey, Adele and Dazzle. I mean, just to give you an idea of where my day ended, I ended with a unbelievably clogged toilet at our processing center, our distribution center. And we never have a toilet problem there because no customers use it. So we never have a problem there. And it's still a problem. I sent a message out, to everybody. I hope you don't need the bathroom first thing in the morning. But that's sort of how my workday has ended. It has been a big hump. Or let me rephrase that. I hope my workday is over at this point. I'm with you guys. I'm with our family here. So this is great stuff. What are you guys all grateful for this Wednesday night? Wednesday night, hump day. I'm grateful that we're closing in at the end of it. So that's a good start. Then the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow. Clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow. We have a lot to be thankful for. A lot to be thankful for, folks. All in all, even when we have a day filled with challenges, we have lots to be grateful for, lots to be thankful for. A year ago at this point, the whole world was shut down. We're in the middle of week 53, 54 of this right now. And a year ago, it was a completely different thing on this day a year ago. So I do find the positive, even in all the crap of the day. I always look for the positive. Hey, I love it, Kitty. I love it when you can knock out the names of the customers. I'm not always that talented. I didn't get that from my father. Receding hairline, stomach, sure, I got that from my father, not his memory of names. Hello from Spring in New Mexico. Spring in New Mexico. Kelly is here with her snowy day. We were talking about that, Kelly, not about your post, although I saw that those pictures tonight as I was coming on. But we were talking about how yucky it was a year ago. It was a year ago. The weather this time of year was just miserable, much like what we were all going through at that time. It really matched what we were going through. So maybe Mother Nature's smarter than we give her credit for, but Mother Nature really matched across the country this time last year. It was cold and dank and snowy and just rainy and just miserable. It was miserable when we had to all close. And now it is like spring and the sun is out and people are in a good mood and they're shopping and they're happy to see you. And we're starting to hear as people are getting vaccinated, that, we're hearing again that we're their first stop. Okay, not only that, we're the first place that they have come out to, that they haven't really been out. They've been getting everything delivered, and they're so excited to be out and see us. So we're seeing that like when we opened again. So we're seeing these new faces like Kitty mentioned today, which is great. I mean, it is exciting to see that and to hear it. Thank you, Cassandra, for posting the link to the YouTube stream. If you're having any problems with the Facebook link, you can click right over to the YouTube stream, where we are broadcasting live on both channels tonight. So, this is, there's really a great positive energy. And that's part of what coming to our community every night brings us, is that that great positive energy. Yes, we are their safe place. We are where they feel comfortable. We are where they feel comfortable. And that is a wonderful thing. 2 days away till we get our first vaccine, so we're excited about that. I got the text reminder on the way home tonight that, your vaccine is coming up in 2 days, your vaccine appointment. So I'm down with that. Happy to be doing that. But a lot of people are still fearful of it, afraid of it. Talking that through with several team members today. And some of it comes from their parents, some of it comes from other things, but that's still real out there. So, we have to work that, and we have to have those real discussions about it, because people are nervous about it. But we're doing our part to get everybody as healthy. Let's get started. Oops, no glasses over here. I'm sorry, I'm getting old, folks. No glasses. All right, let's get this party started. We've got the Good Morning, Good Night book. That's how we start this program every night. That is where we go every night. Tonight, we're on page 28, if you're following along in the book. Good morning. Woke up achy and sad? Not alone. Woke up with purpose and joy? Not alone. Any way you slice it, you're not alone. Let's go. Well, that page was written just for this group. That page was written for this community. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. So I am excited to have you all here. I don't have as much. I know I am still lacking, and I have not forgotten the budget sheet. I sat down to work on it, and my day went, my week has been sort of haywire. I like this quote. For what's happening in the world right now, when you look at what happened in Boulder this week, when you when you look at some of the senseless stuff in the world, and it's hard to call it anything but senseless. I can't make sense of it. I can't find the right words for it. I can't find anything right or the excuse of it. I just can't. I can't make hide nor hair of it. It's just I just can't make right of it. And I know that's not what we're here. That's not my area of expertise. But acknowledging the wrong in that and what's happened, and we have stores that are close there that tune in. Carrie is not far from there, Carrie Radicella, and she tunes in regularly. She's right in that zone. I mean, it's just awful. But this quote, from Indira Gandhi: mankind will endure when the world appreciates the logic of diversity. Think about that. Mankind will endure when the world appreciates the logic of diversity. in that very meaning, in the depths of that quote, says that we won't endure if we don't appreciate the logic of diversity and appreciate all the differences and things. So I share that quote tonight to leave that hanging out there. So just hang on to that. Since I started tonight with vaccines, or I talked a bunch about vaccines in my opening here tonight, I wanted to talk about this article, an analysis from the New York Times, which was actually a bunch of professors put together this case study, and the New York Times is reporting on it. But the headline is bad news the only kind? And the premise towards bad news bias comes from this study by these professors of U.S. media is offering a different picture of COVID-19 from science journals or the international media. And, they go into television coverage. This professor started this theory with television coverage that he was watching on a variety of channels almost always seemed negative, regardless of what was being seen in the data or hearing from scientists. To check, he began working with two other researchers, building a database of COVID coverage from every major network, CNN, Fox, Politico, the New York Times, and hundreds of other sources in the U.S. and overseas. And they used a social science technique that classifies language as positive, neutral, or negative. And the results showed that they'd been right, that it's not just because the pandemic is a grim story, but the U.S. media is an outlier. The coverage by U.S. publications with a national audience has been much more negative than coverage by any other source that the researchers analyzed, including scientific journals, major international publications, or regional U.S. media. The most well-read U.S. media are outliers in terms of their negativity. About 87% of COVID coverage in national U.S. media last year was negative. The share was 51% in international media, 53% in U.S. media, and 64% in scientific journals. And it didn't matter whether they were liberal or conservative audiences, whether you're looking at Fox or MSNBC as an example. And it's not when you read into the actual study, when you actually read the study, it finds that it's not that journalists are reporting falsehoods. It's just the issue is which facts they emphasized. That if we're constantly telling a negative story, we're not giving our audience the most accurate portrait of reality. We're shading it. And, while they didn't come to a full conclusion of why that is, their leading conclusion is that the leading contender of why the bad news bias, the U.S. media is giving the audience what it wants. That the most negative stories are shared the most, and that is why they're doing it. And I found this interesting because if you remember, I've been interviewed a lot in the last year. I've been. Exactly, Kitty. Why you limit yourself to 5 minutes of news a day? Why I have been turned down for interview after interview. Oh, I'm on the big screen tonight, Michelle. Uh-oh, that's scary. That I feel fat on the big screen. Um, but yes, you limit your news content, which has helped our audience dramatically. Okay, it has helped the mental health of our group and the people who watch me regularly dramatically. Okay, it's also why I have been turned down for so many interviews. For as many interviews I've had in the last year, I've been turned down for probably twice as many that they wanted to talk to me initially. And then they're like, you're really you have a positive outlook on this. And that's not the spin that they were trying to emphasize. Okay. They weren't trying to spin that there's a path to survival in business. They wanted to spin the death of business and the death of small business and the death of Main Street. And that's not to say what we're doing is easy. Okay. If it were easy, everybody could do it. But there is a path. There is a way to get up every day. There is hope. Okay. And that is the story that we're talking about. That is what we're pushing forward. That is what we're sharing with the world, that there is a story of hope. I got a call from one of my landlords yesterday who has a lot of properties, has a lot of retail plazas in the Northeast. He has a lot of he owns, him and his family own a lot of retail plazas in the Northeast, and he essentially called me for good news, and he's like, "This isn't what I'm hearing. This isn't what the news media." It was actually the same thing as this article. He's like, and I'm like, no. I'm like, and I've been called the mayor of some of my plazas before because I stay in contact, because if my neighbors are healthy, it makes it easier to have my business be healthy. And, so there are, you're working through these different things. And he's like, he heard more positive news backed up by actual data and numbers on where it came from, what stimulus is having effect on businesses, what things are available for the businesses that are still in trouble. We just had he's like, I'm so glad I called you today. And I had actually reached out to him for something else that had nothing to do directly with business. I just, that I had a question. I had originally reached out to him. And, but he's like, this was the best call I've had in weeks, because now I have a better handle from a positive standpoint and a way to move forward. And really, the biggest thing in his plazas that aren't hitting it is the restaurants and some of the personal services, like some of the hair salons and things. But, there's a lot of positive momentum moving forward. There's a lot of positive energy moving forward. And there's a path to responsibly move forward and to grow our way out of this. And so that is what I'm sharing. That is the story that is real. And that is what's happening out there. That is what you guys are doing each and every day. But that is also why limit your news content. That's not to stick your head in the sand, because some of these major stories that have happened that are just god awful, like what happened in Boulder and stuff, I don't hear about I hear very, very late about. And that's because of my limiting the intake of news. I heard about that very, very late. I heard about the assault on the Capitol very, very late because, again, I was limiting my intake. And that's not to stick my head in the sand with it. But we have to deal with some of those things and the underlying issues that cause those. But we have to, as business leaders in your community, we have to move forward. I wanted to talk. One of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was, oh shoot, who posted it? There was a question posted in the NARTS private Facebook group about, I have this employee going away to Florida. What do I do? Do I let them come right back to work? They're going to Miami, which the news media, the negative news media, is making out to the party capital of the world. And quite honestly, it looks like it from the pictures the pictures that you see, and that only represents one part of Miami, but it still is a heck of a picture. What do I do for this is what I feel I should do for the safety of my community and the safety of my company and the safety of the coworkers, is that I shouldn't allow this person back in for 7 days. I should require them to be tested. Can I do any of this? Okay, was the underlying question there. And, this person hasn't been vaccinated yet. We haven't been vaccinated. Can I do any of these things? Can I, as an employer, can I do these things? And the short answer is, yeah, you can, as long as you apply it consistently. Okay? You have to apply that theory, and I'll reply to the post directly, but I wanted to talk about it here because sometimes that's easier than typing a quick reply to something in Facebook. As long as you're applying it evenly, you're applying it to somebody that goes to Miami the same way you apply it to somebody that goes to Montana, okay, or Mississippi, okay. Someone that leaves and goes out of town on a vacation for a period of time, as long as you apply it consistently, you are within your rights as an employer. To protect your community, to protect your staff, to protect your customers. You have to remember, okay, and I can't stress this enough, okay, because there is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. I have never been. That is someplace I have never been, is to Montana. I have never been to Montana, Michelle. It is one of those states I have not made it to yet. I hear it's beautiful. But you have to understand that at the end of the day, and this is something I have stressed to you all since the beginning of this, you are the governor. You are the governor of your store. You are the governor of your family. You are the governor of protecting your community and your store. And so that is the decisions you make are okay. And they're okay even if they evolve or change over time. But during a period of time, they have to be applied consistently is the biggest thing from an employment perspective. Because you, the governor, you are the governor. You get to make those decisions for the safety of your community, okay, for the safety of your business, your customers, your suppliers, your team members. Yes, you get to make those decisions, okay? As with most decisions, being governor, they may not be popular with everyone, okay? The governor does not make popular decisions that are popular with everyone. You may have noticed that in the last year, that every time the governor says something or does something, it is not always popular. So as long as you're not trying to win a popularity contest, but you're doing what you believe is right as the governor of your store, of your family, of your community, you are free to do that, okay? And you should do that, okay? You know, I've said a long time, I wish, our employees wouldn't tell us where they're going off for the weekend. Don't ask, don't tell would be almost better, okay? We want to be involved, we want to know, but I don't want to know that my employee is going off for a spring break weekend in Miami, okay? I don't want to know that right now, okay? And, what we just, have covered in the news, it's real easy to cover the negative stuff. It's real easy to see Miami gone wild. Woo! Miami. Okay. Miami could become its own quarantine zone. We'll just quarantine around it. But if you listen to the news media, that doesn't mean that all of Miami is that way. But there's certainly a good section of it that is that way, at least according to news accounts at this time. So know that, and know that within your situation. Okay. Again, we can't. It is not being recommended that you require vaccinations. There's some iffy law on whether you can or can't. Encouraging vaccination, educating. I mean, anybody that I talk to with the CDC or government it knows that they are doing a terrible job of marketing these vaccinations. A terrible job of marketing it. They are scientists. You got to remember their jobs. They are scientists. They did not hire marketing people. Okay, they don't know how to create a good display. Okay, and so they are doing a terrible job of marketing this. I am thrilled that like a quarter of the country has at least received one shot or something at this point, but a quarter of the adult population. But we need so much more to get back to normal. That is one of my news pieces tonight, because this is interesting. And Kathy, you may have seen this. This is really interesting. So hang on a second. I got to take a sip. Foxwoods, which is the largest casino in the Western Hemisphere, which is located here in Connecticut, okay, has announced their first show that you can buy tickets to. The first in-person show. Dave Chappelle, the stand-up comedian, will be their first show at the end of June. Cassandra could go for her birthday. Normally we're at conference on these days, but they have announced their first show. Okay, and it'll be in their Grand Theater on June 25th and 26th. Here are the rules. Okay, these shows are not, and this is what's important. So I thought this was very important to know as we look for ways to return to normal. This is what they are doing. Okay, and keep in mind, this is a Indian casino, so they are not required to follow all of Connecticut's laws or all the federal laws. They come close to it most of the time. So the first point of note in buying a ticket to this show is these shows are not socially distanced. But safety is a top priority, and precautions are being implemented to protect fans, artists, and staff. Referencing current local, statewide, and federal public health guidelines, masks will be required at all times while in the venue. Additionally, each ticket holder will receive a mandatory rapid COVID-19 test prior to entering the venue. If COVID-19 is detected by the rapid test, that individual and all members of the same household will not be allowed to enter. And will be given a complete refund. And the test is required even if you've received COVID-19 vaccinations. No cell phones, cameras, or recording devices will be allowed inside the show. Upon arrival, all phones and smartwatches will be secured in yonder pouches. That just sounds weird. Yonder! They will be yonder. That will be unlocked at the end of the show. Guests maintain possessions of their phone throughout the night and may access their phones at designated yonder unlocking stations in the lobby. Anyone caught with a cell phone in the venue will be immediately ejected. No cameras will be allowed. Bag and purse policies, only small wristlets or handheld wallets, not to exceed 8 by 5 by 2. No shopping bags, backpacks, etc. So COVID-19 test required. Refund and your whole party ejected if one of you has COVID. No requiring locking of all cell phones and smartwatches. I mean, the schools could learn something from that. Yes, where's your phone? Oh, it's over yonder. Yonder. Okay, I mean, they should sell those to schools. I mean, it is. He's this guy, Kathy. This is Dave Chappelle. He's supposedly funny. At least that's what he tells us. The ad says he's funny. I mean, if the ad says he's funny, he must be funny. So, but that is some of the things that that venues are looking at as they look. No, comedian. He's a comedian. He doesn't have the hair for music. He's a comedian. But that is how some venues. He's ornery. You ladies are great. This is why I show up every night. You ladies are great. His whole gig could be about. Well, see, maybe I'll do a whole show that night on getting into his show. But that is how places are looking at how to start live events. It's a real delicate balance, especially in northern states, of how do you restart these safely? How do you get people comfortable enough? We're just starting to see a new group of people that are just feeling comfortable coming out because they've been vaccinated. We're just starting to see that new group come into our stores. But this is how you get people into live events. They feel that this will make people comfortable. And my guess is the prices aren't overly inflated for all this. So because it's at the casino, they are betting on you gambling the night away afterwards. Hello from Gatlinburg, Kurt. Great to have you with us. Are you strumming the banjo? It does sound similar to going back to major sporting events after 9/11. So, I mean, there's some of this that we have to work through that, you have to make people feel safe. You have to make people feel comfortable. People naturally feel comfortable in our stores. We've talked about it, even recently, we've all heard more requests for what are you doing because of the COVID environment, because people haven't come out. But now they're starting to come out. And the first places they want to come is your stores. They don't want to go see Dave. They don't want to go see Dave Chappelle, but they want to come to your stores. So what are you doing to make them feel comfortable? And reminding people, because even though we've been doing this for 9 months now, okay, where you've been back open 9 months, okay, we have to remind people, and it's old hat, the stuff. Yeah, we're cleaning, we're requiring masks, we're cleaning, we're doing things, and it's old hat after 9 months of doing it. To a new group of people, it is new. They don't know what they're walking into, okay? They don't know what they're going to see when they walk in your store. So this is new. So we have to remind them of that and all that you're doing to keep them safe, because you are their safe place. Not only are you their safe place, you're their happy place. You are their happy place. You bring out their smile even though you can't see it behind the mask. You bring that out. And so, that is what you are bringing. And it is important to share and bring that forward for people, and that we carry that forward as we move forward. because we are moving forward. We are moving forward. We are making progress. Okay, more and more I'm hearing, more and more I am hearing, the July date, which is, Biden's date to have most people that want to be vaccinated by. And that is a good thing. That is a good thing. That'll be that very well may be our Independence Day from the virus. That may be at another turning point, another new normal. But, this is how we drive ourselves forward. And keeping everybody safe, keeping everybody comfortable is how we do it. That is how we roll here. That is how we roll. You know what else we roll? Well, this video and everything I talk about rolls right on over to narcs.org/resalestrong. narcs.org/resalestrong is where you can also sing a song. Rolls all over there by noon the next day. Adele and Cassandra make that all happen. And there's also a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and yes, you can ring the bell. Ring the bell so you know when a new episode drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business. Butcher, baker, candlestick maker, comedian. You could share it with this comedian. Maybe he could learn a thing or two. You could share it with everybody, because we're helping everybody, even the comedian, get across the finish line. Yes, we are. No laughing matter there. We're going to help everybody get across the finish line. I am here live in the Nards Facebook group every night at more 8 than ish live in the Nards private Facebook group. But if you have a question, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. I am fully acknowledged behind on emails and phone calls, but I will catch up. Do I ever dream about these nightly updates, Kelly? Sometimes I'm dreaming, what am I going to come up with to say next? Cassandra tries to quiz me before I go on. What are you talking about tonight? What are you talking about? You promised them this. Yes, I didn't finish the spreadsheet yet. I know what I didn't finish. I didn't return the calls that I was hoping to get to today. But tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. We take one day at a time, people. One day at a time. We start this program every night, with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. If you, yes, you were not here at the top of the program tonight, we are at page 28. Good morning. Woke up achy and sad? Not alone. Woke up with purpose and joy? Not alone. Any way you slice it, you're not alone. Let's go. Our good night tonight is good night. Headed to bed achy and sad? Not alone. Headed to bed with gratitude and satisfaction? Not alone. Any way you slice it, you're not alone. Let's see. There's your graphics, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a pizza party, so we can slice it up. We will party again. We will party in person over yonder. Yonder, I'm saying. I don't know when we'll get to yonder, but when we do, I will be there with you. Yes, I will. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish, you must know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. It's time for dinner, everybody. Rebecca cooked. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.